Well, good morning. Well, I'm here to talk to you today about spirituality, I guess. Spirituality is about embracing, it's not about isolating us from one another. It's about communicating with caring and trust in an appropriate way, of course, and with the appropriate trust matching the appropriate form of caring. I call this optimistic intelligence because it connects us to our core optimism. It gives us a strong optimism, an optimism that's based upon abilities rather than hype. It connects us to our empathy and our objectivity and our creativity, and this connects us to our virtues. So this is why I call it spiritual. I'm not referring to what you believe about the supernatural or if it does or doesn't exist. What I'm talking about is a very common sense kind of spirituality that doesn't really give anybody an opportunity to be braggadocious. It's kind of spiritual health that I'm promoting. How do you get that? Well, you have to learn to comfort yourself, and that's not easy, believe it or not. It's kind of hard sometimes because we find things in ourselves that we need to change, and that's never comfortable. And we actually do change as a result of the self-talk that I talk about, and the spiritual communication between ourselves and others. So I'm talking very rational spirituality here. You can attach whatever else you want to it, but basically it's about communicating with trust and caring. This puts us in touch with empathy and objectivity and creativity, and these are the foundation for our virtues, which are empathy, that supports our goodness, and objectivity, our value of truth, and creativity helps us to appreciate the world through artists' eyes, to be empowered over how we see things. You don't have to see things this way, you can see things that way. And when this creativity answers needs, then it's truly valuable. When this objectivity answers needs, it is truly valuable. When this empathy answers needs, it is truly valuable. And usually these things do, either in the short run or the long run, answer needs. But when you use them to comfort yourself and others, you form an attachment between the virtues and what you do every day. Especially if you give enough voice to each virtue. If you isolate a virtue, though, you wound it. Creativity needs your objectivity needs your empathy needs your objectivity, so on and so forth. They're interrelated. Now, there's another ideal or virtue which, we could call beauty. Not just goodness and truth and art, the ability to appreciate life and to learn from it. But there's a core that all of these things connect to, and that's a vision, an experience of ourselves and life as beautiful. This is what Joseph Campbell talked about when he said, follow your bliss. Okay? Now, if all of your virtues love and care about you, and you feel cared about by these virtues, you discover your beauty. And you discover the beauty of others, the beauty of the world you live in, etc. And when you follow that beauty, well, your life becomes fulfilled. That beauty, that bliss is, how we experience beauty is we experience bliss that Joseph Campbell talked about. And this is what really lifts us up. And it goes with you wherever you go. I'm not talking about a shallow kind of optimism here. I'm not talking about make happy optimism, and I'm not talking about what some have called intelligent optimism, which is usually how can I use intelligence to hype myself up. What I'm talking about is connection to virtues, which is the only way to be truly optimistic. Now, I know there's a few people, tapping their Bible and going, yeah, that's what it teaches. You're right, it does. Many other religions teach aspects of this as well. And the funny thing is, when you put them all together, remember I mentioned spirituality brings us together, you have a clearer picture of everything. And that's kind of what Joseph Campbell did when he looked at the mythologies from around the world. One educates the other, in a way. We see a bigger picture. And when we integrate that bigger picture, we've done what the story talks about that they tell to children in India about the blind men who were sent to check out an elephant. And one wraps his arms around one of the legs and says, "Well, it's a tree," and so on and so forth. And so they all get together. They each have these wildly different views of the elephant, but at the end of the story, if it's in a book, you'll usually see the different things they talked about put together in a way that makes the picture of an elephant. So we need each other, and this is part of spirituality. So there is no place for pride in spirituality. We need each other. And like I've said before, it's like a circuit. When the caring and the trust are flowing, it's like a circuit, with the electricity, the life, flowing through the light bulb, which gives us light. And pride kills the circuit. So when you don't realize that your spirituality depends upon the others who need your caring, and the reception in your own heart of the caring that others offer to you, then you've switched that light off. So as soon as you're prideful, the whole thing turns off. There's not any room for pridefulness and spirituality. You're going to hear about people saying, "Oh, this pride and that pride," and okay, all right, feel good about yourself, and you should. You know, it's all right to have confidence in yourself, and that's what they're talking about. That's just fine. But spirituality goes deeper than that. It goes to your heart. It really changes who and what you are. So, and I'm gonna be putting out a few of these things, and you know, I hope you don't mind the sound of the fans about me. This is not a professional job here. I apologize for that. But yeah, I'm going to be talking to you some more. If you'd like to know more about what I'm talking about here, or hear that point of view from other people, hopefully in the future, I'm trying to round up my friends to teach trust and caring, and to understand that this is what pulls us all together. And many of them understand that, but they haven't decided to join me in posting for various reasons. So if you're one of those people, you can help me out, you know. But it's the blog is optimisticintelligence.com, and I'm Reverend David Stoll, and I am of a church that believes in this embracing kind of point of view, and which encourages everyone to be a minister. It makes it easy. So the hard part's when you start doing the job. Yeah. So I hope chaplains out there will hear what I'm saying and understand the calling, and what I call helping people with a self-talk, and that encourages them to speak to themselves using their virtuous abilities in comforting ways, and to trust those ways, and to grow in the trust and in the ability to care, with an internal self-talk. I call that spiritual coaching. It's not about telling someone what to do. It's not counseling. It's just coaching. And everybody's got their own way of doing this sort of thing. But, I've got mine, which I like. And of course, people coach from their own personal point of view and abilities. So it's good to have more than one coach in your life, no doubt about that. There's also the field of psychology, of course, which part of that field that I deeply respect is Arthur Janoff's, I call what he does Genovian primal therapy, by the way, but so many people have used his name, primal therapy, that it's almost, and they've made it a joke. You know, it's really sad. They misused it terribly. But he knows what he's talking about, and there's some major changes when you get into this area, which is actually an even deeper area, a more physical level of what I'm talking about. You can see amazing changes. I really recommend anybody who can afford it to go and see Art in his clinic in California, primaltherapy.com. There's also another site that I like, and it's theprimalmind.com. So